Okay, bonjour tout le monde! Welcome to Tune of the Week. I've been absent a little bit, sorry about that. I'm trying to get back in the swing, and I got Dejah here to help me this week.
Bonjour.
And we're going to do Tommy Rooney's jig. It's not a jig, but it is from Tommy Rooney. 1, 2, 1, 3, 4. To stop. It's impossible. I can't stop. I just want to keep going. Okay, so that tune was called Tommy Rooney's Jig, and it's not by Tommy Rooney. It's from a fiddler called Erskine Morris from Douglastown, Québec. So these are I've been really fascinated by this region. The music was kind of recently rediscovered, and it's all in this really great CD called Douglastown. It's a part of Gaspé, which is in the far north of Quebec, or pretty far north in Quebec. It's this really fascinating part where there's a really equal kind of mix between Québécois influences, Irish influences, and Acadian influences. And the music's really wild. It's not like much else we've heard. Some fiddlers from around the area that are known are like Emma Soel, who we did a tune from recently, and Yvon Mimo. But a lot of these fiddlers were not commercially recorded, so we only have these field recordings that were made of the fiddlers to figure out this style. And Tommy Rooney's jig is a great example of how cool the Douglastown style is. It's super crooked, really a strange construction, but really well built. It's a very, very well built and beautiful tune. That kind of part in the A where you go, it's just incredibly elegant and fun to play. As you saw, we couldn't stop playing. It's just such a great start to the tune. So they're just beautiful, beautiful tunes. And I really encourage people to check it out. There's a great blog. So Glenn Patterson was one of the researchers that did a lot of work on the Douglastown recordings. And Glenn put up a blog of a lot of these recordings and stories from the community and photos, a lot about Erskine Morris, the fiddler who played this tune, Tommy Rooney's Jig. And I really, really recommend the blog. I'm going to find a link so you guys can go check it out. But you can also go I'll see if I find a link to buy this album too, because it's really, really good. It's like a real thick booklet of information about it too. So yeah, let's have a little quick listen to Erskine Morris playing Tommy Rooney's Jig. I guess Tommy Rooney was remembered as an excellent step dancer and fiddler. It's one of several tunes he apparently composed. It's in 3/2 time, and the jig, of course, whenever they say jig, it's really meant to be a gigue, a step dancing tune. It's not meant to be a 6/8 tune. Those are usually called les 6/8, the 6/8s. So it's confusing in English to be called Tommy Rooney's Jig, but the community has a lot of English and French combined. So here's Erskine Morris playing Tommy Rooney's Jig. Hang on one sec, I'm sorry. Here it is. And then maybe just for fun, we'll do Glenn. This is Glenn playing it. Glenn Patterson, really good musician himself. This is Glenn playing Tommy Rooney's jig. I like Glenn's version a lot. Here's the CD. 46 tracks. I'll put links in for that. And so yeah, that's Tommy Rooney's Jig by Erskine Morris from Douglastown, Quebec. Really, I've been getting a lot into these Gaspé tunes. There's so many fun tunes in the Gaspé, and they are 100% Acadian. There's no way you can hear the bowing on Tommy Rooney's Jig and not think this is an Acadian tune. And even in the liner notes, they credit a lot of the bowing and some of the ideas for being Acadian. And we're starting to hear links between these Douglastown tunes and then the tunes in Gaspé, like the Roaring Mary, the Irish tune I showed last week. We had a version from Gaspé, and then we had a version from New Brunswick. So there's ties between Gaspé and New Brunswick, or Acadian New Brunswick, that are bringing these tunes together. We're just everyone's kind of trying to figure that out. But the Douglas tunes are always going to be a bit of a mystery. They're just so many cool influences smashing together in this really intriguing sound. Hope you like it. And we'll try and learn it. So we can try and do Tommy Rooney slow, but I'll warn you, it's very hard it's almost impossible to try and teach this tune. It uses extensive use of those ghost bows I was talking about, and a lot of it's based on chaining two sets of those together in like a hup, 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 hup kind of way. So it's pretty tricky. When you get kind of going on those ghost bows, you can almost play a whole tune using that bowing rhythm. And some of the key to some of the Acadian fiddling is doing like half a tune with that ghost bow rhythm, the up kind of rhythm. So it's really hard to break this one down. It's a very complicated tune in its construction, and more in the bowing. The bowing is really pretty tricky. But I'll play it slow, and you can try and learn it slow, see if that helps. So that's the whole A and B part. The A part's a little more straightforward. That's a real strong. Part is it's broken up into, you play each part, it's basically played 4 times, so it's technically kind of straight in concept, but not in reality. That was the first kind of chunk. Repeat. 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 So, this isn't too complicated. That one's really syncopated. You really ride that E for a while. I don't really know. I could break that down. Oh, jeez. I'll try again. It's just kind of riding that up bow with that. I'll try and do it straight without the ghost bows. So there it is, straight without the ghost bows. You can learn it just that way and then kind of start bringing in the ghost bows when you start really accenting the upstrokes of the bow. You can kind of hear me moving back and forth between that. Like I said, would take me a long time to break it down. It's kind of hard, but if you're getting the ghost bows down, this is a great tune to really go to town on them because it's all about super syncopated bowing. That's the Acadian bowing that you can really hear in this tune, Tommy Rooney's Jig. I hope you liked it. Tough tune, but super fun to play.